Well, hey everyone, it's Cone back here with a brand new video from No BS Crypto. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I would like to extend a very warm welcome. My goal with this channel is to provide you with no BS crypto content on a weekly basis. So in today's video, I'll be covering all you need to know about the Astar Crowdloan participation process and what that will require from you. I will also be giving you my best price scenario and my price prediction. Now, I want to also let you guys know the difference between the two because in my Moonbeam video, I was confusing a lot of people and they were getting the wrong impression between the two. So first of all, my best price scenario is what I believe the DOT to Astar ratio will need to go for us to make any sort of good gains this bull run. Now, my price prediction is actually where I think the ratio between DOT to Astar will go based on all the information we have provided. Now, with that being said, I hope it's all clear and please do remember this. Now, I did create a poll on Twitter earlier this week on what I should cover for this particular video, and that was either Astar or Acala, and believe it or not, Acala actually did win that. However, I've already made a video on Acala for this particular content. However, I have not made a ratio prediction like I have with Moonbeam and now Astar. So what I'll do is make a fully dedicated video on that later this week. Now, with that being said, let's move into the most important pieces of information for the Crowdloan process first, and then head into my ratios later in the video. So first of all, the minimum Crowdloan contribution is 5 DOT tokens, which is actually standard across all Parachain participants, and this is actually enforced by Polkadot themselves. Now, the second is that your tokens will be locked away for the entire duration of 96 weeks, which is the maximum time a project is allowed to maintain a parachain slot. Now, the ratio of DOT to Astar tokens are determined based on the amount of DOT contributed to the Astar Crowdloan pool, which is 20% of the supply, actually broken up 15% for the Crowdloan themselves and a bonus pool of 5% for completing the bonus rewards mentioned shortly. And just so everyone is aware, the 20% will come to approximately 14 million Astar tokens, which are all obviously again given to the Crowdloan participants. Now, although the articles I have read do not specifically state this clearly, what this does tell me is that we have another Moonbeam situation on our hands whereby the DOT tokens are not capped per person, which means that the more DOT that is contributed, the less Astar tokens we will receive. Now, if this does change or any more information does come out about this, I will leave it in a pinned comment, so please check that after the video. Now, there will only be a 10% immediate token release upon a successful parachain connection, and the remaining 90% of your tokens will be vested linearly over 22 months that Astar holds a spot. So yeah, guys, this now means however many Astar tokens your DOT gets you, we will need to divide that by 10, and that will be our immediate token supply or token quantity. Therefore, we need to base our profits from 10% of our allocation if we want some decent returns this bull run. And yeah, I do know, as I've said a million times, but I will say it again, the last few months of a bull run are literally the most violent and supply the most gains out of the entire 4-year cycle. So based on my calculations, if the reward from this 10% immediate distribution is less than what I could gain from investing in even a large cap coin on the open market, then count me out, because honestly, I know I could make at least 10-fold. And in that case, literally use the exact same funds, except now obviously 10 times more in value, to invest back into the same coin, let's just say Astar, for probably a lot cheaper than what it was given in the Crowdloan anyway. Now just think about that, people. Seriously, sit there and think about it. I'm only trying to be realistic here, and I only want you to make the most money you possibly can. Now, the bonus scheme will be activated as soon as the Crowdloan begins, so it's very important that you pay attention if you're wanting to participate. Now, if you do want immediate coverage of when the Crowdloan does go live, follow my Twitter page. My handle is @NoBSCrypto, and I will immediately retweet this when the news drops. Now, there are 3 bonus levels. Now, the first is called referral, where your friend enters your referral code, which in this case is the same Polkadot address you are participating with, so that every 1 dot your friend contributes, you actually earn 0.1 Astar. Now, in the same regard, your friend will actually gain a 1% bonus on their contribution as well. This is not actually limited to a specific amount of friends, so by all means, literally send this around to as many people as you'd like. It is important to note though that your Polkadot address, aka the referral code you give to your friends, needs to be the exact same address you have supplied to the Crowdloan. If it is incorrect or you have not contributed at least 5 DOT to the Crowdloan with that address, it will not work. Now, the next bonus round is for early birds and is a whopping 20% bonus Astar tokens. The only requirement is that you surrender your DOT tokens before the end of auction 1, which as we all know will be November 18th. The final reward is for early adopters, which are the Plasm Lock Drop participants and the Shiden Crowdloan participants. So the Plasm Lock Drop participants will get an additional 10% rewards, and if you're unfamiliar, Astar was formerly known as Plasm and underwent a brand change. Now, the requirements for this are obviously having joined the ETH lock drop back in 2020 and holding the Plasm or aka PLM tokens in the same wallet you will be participating in the Astar Crowdloan with. Now, the second is the Shiden Crowdloan participants, who will also receive the 10% bonus rewards. Now, the requirement for this is you needed to have joined the Shiden Crowdloan with a non-custodial wallet, meaning entries from centralized exchanges are not eligible. And the second is that you are required to hold the exact amount of SDN tokens you received from the Crowdloan. So in this case, if you have actually distributed these since then, you can just send them back and are still eligible. So you can see if you've been actively partaking in anything related to Astar, you may be up for some serious extra rewards here. And that's basically all the information you need to know, at least at present, regarding the Astar Crowdloan. Now, I will throw up a screenshot of the interface resembling what it will look like at the time of participation. However, this is still to be announced, and I will most definitely retweet this at the time. Now, I'll be uploading a video displaying how to participate in the larger Crowdloans, including Astar, when these all open up, so stay tuned for a video on that in the coming week. Okay, so let's firstly figure out where I think the ratio will end up going. Now, this will be my ratio prediction. So to begin, we need to understand the supply dedicated to Astar as rewards for participation. Now, in the technical paper, they've actually stated that 30% will be used for the Crowdloans. However, they have recently updated this to reflect a 20% distribution, with 15% of that actually handed out for the participation in the Crowdloan and the remaining 5% as bonus rewards, as we know. Now, I'll be including the additional 5% rewards in my calculations, as these will be given out indefinitely and therefore will obviously take up the supply. So anyway, all we need to simply do is times the max supply, which is 70,000 Astar, by 20%, which comes to 14 million Astar tokens, as we know. Therefore, obviously, 14 million Astar tokens will be 100% given to the participants. So understandably, we need to take a look at how much DOT could potentially be invested in the Crowdloan. So for this, we need to understand that the interest Astar has compared to the next closest project available, and that's its sisternet, obviously Shiden. Now, Shiden has a Twitter following of 42,000 people, and Astar has almost double that at 70,000. Now, I do know this is not quite double. However, I will accept it as that for a rough estimate. Now, we can understand that the TVL on Shiden was 61 million US dollars as a rough figure. So as a basic understanding, we can multiply this by 2 and have a rough guesstimate of how much DOT will be contributed. So that will look something like 61 million multiplied by 2, which is $122 million, divided by the current DOT price, which is $51. Meaning this will be 2.392156 million DOT, putting Astar at a market cap of roughly, and I'm going to do the maths here for you really quickly, 122 million multiplied by 4, which is $488 million, which is actually very believable. Now, if we put this in practical terms and use the example of your average investor contributing 10 DOT tokens to the Crowdloan, that means that you're looking at around 10 divided by 2.392156 million times 14 million, which is 58.52 Astar. Then obviously divide that by 10 and you have 1.25.85 Astar tokens. So I would say that this is my rough ratio prediction for those who are wondering, but I do go into some more details soon, so hang on tight. Now, yes, you could very well say that there will be a lot more DOT contributed, so that's why I'm going to factor in some other situations. And just a quick side note, I definitely do think these two situations could happen, seeing as there has been so many DOT tokens unstaked, and actually people are beginning to realize that the two big projects, being obviously Acala and Moonbeam, might not yield the greatest returns, and therefore they're looking for other options. Let's use the example of 4 million DOT contributed and also 6 million DOT contributed, which is obviously a rough 2 to 3 times the original guesstimate I had taken from Scheiden. Now, I will save you the time and the maths on this one. So essentially, this would mean that you're looking at a ratio of between 1 to 3.5 for the 4 million DOT, and a ratio of 1 to 2.33 for the 6 million DOT. Now, this means that the 4 million DOT contributed, we're looking at a market cap of around $1.02 billion. And at the 6 million DOT contribution, we are looking at $1.53 billion market cap, keeping in mind the average price per DOT is $51. Now, you can see why this would be such a horrible situation for anyone who managed to invest at this ratio, as your average buy-in price would be between $14 and $22 per Astar token, respectively, meaning that you very well could wait quite a while for your investment to be worthwhile. But this doesn't really seem very believable to me, as the market caps are far too high, leading me to believe in my original prediction. However, I do want to mention that the bonus rewards make Astar a more appealing Crowdloan, and it would make sense that the more and more people shift their attention to it over the larger projects like Moonbeam or Acala. Now, quickly, let's just go undervalue a little bit here and see what happens if only 1.5 million DOT is contributed. I'm not going to bore you again with the maths, but the ratio would be 1 DOT to 9.3 Astar tokens, meaning the market cap is sitting at about $382 million, and the price per token is a little over $5. So to answer the question of where I believe the ratio will go once and for all, I would say anywhere between 1 DOT to 4 Astar, right through to 1 DOT to 10 Astar. Now remember, anything can happen, and although this would be my best guess, I want to let you know I cannot give you an exact estimate because there's so many variables involved and no one has a glass crystal ball. Also, we do have to remember that the bonus reward system will allow users to gain huge percent advantages depending on the aforementioned requirements. So realistically, this could be around 20 to 45, or as I said before, more percent higher if you were to consider this. As to what I believe the best ratio scenario would be, well, I'm really sorry to drag you along this far and do this to you. However, the best ratio scenario for Astar is simply not achievable, not with an initial 10% distribution anyway. Listen guys, you're honestly plain and simply far better off investing in a decent, even large to a micro cap cryptocurrency, which will provide you with better results this bull run. Now, please don't get agitated. This is for my viewers who are like me and want the most bang for your buck this cycle. And if you genuinely loved Astar and wanted to participate because you believe in the long term, then I say, you know what, go for it. And honestly, I will be accumulating large bags in the bear market because, again, I'm the same as you. I really do love Astar and I believe in it long term, but I want profits and a large amount while we are still heading into the last few months of a violent 2021 bull market. So this is not an option for me. However, there are other liquid options for your DOT tokens that would actually make investing in Astar something I may look into, and that is participating through parallel finance. Here, you will be able to actually gain an additional 6% more Astar tokens on top of the percent already offered by Astar if you invest before the first auction. Additionally, you will receive C-DOT tokens, which are a one-to-one peg to your DOT tokens, where you'll be able to then lend for rewards or borrow to use funds elsewhere. The only issue would be there is not currently a supported exchange that allows you to swap these for stable coins, which is what I would prefer. However, hang out for my video on my Parachain strategy in the coming week, and I will mention this option. Now, if I was to invest in Astar, I would try and complete as many of the bonus rewards as I possibly could, which means that I would look at participating in the Crowdloan as soon as possible, and also sharing my Polkadot address to as many people as I possibly could. And now, I didn't actually participate in the Shiden Crowdloan, nor did I participate in the lock drop. So there would be an extra 20% gain if you did participate in both of those as well. Now, on top of that, I would also invest through parallel finance for the additional 6% rewards on top of all that. And then also stake my C-DOT funds so that I have some passive rewards coming in. So you really could be looking at an additional 26% more Astar tokens if you complete some of the more basic tasks, and up to, and I'm not even kidding, more than 50% returns, at least in Astar tokens, if you complete all the tasks and obviously have your Polkadot address being passed around quite frequently, which in this case would actually make Astar a decent long-term hold. I still wouldn't recommend it for a short-term hold, guys. That 10% is actually a bit of a hard hitter, and therefore, not to sound like a broken record, at least for me, I'm going to pass this up for an investment, but I promise I'm going to hold some really, really big bags through the bear market because I really do love this project. Anyway, everyone, that will conclude today's video. I really do hope you learned something new from it, and this brought you some new light, not just on Astar, but made you think twice about investing in some of the bigger parachains in general. Now, I'm not saying don't invest in Astar or don't invest in any parachains. I still will be investing in parachains, that is for sure. However, I wanted to obviously break it all down for you so you can see how things are worked out and what the percentages are really like. I know it can be a bit confusing. Sometimes you listen to your favorite YouTuber and these guys will tell you to invest in these projects. And the last thing I would want is in 6 months' time for you just follow these guys' opinion and not do your own research. Instead of investing in the coin that you wanted to go, oh, the coin I was going to invest in has 50x, 100x, I could have made X amount of money, and now I'm stuck at an unrealized loss with one of these parachains. So with that being said, again, I'm here for the cold hard facts because I want you to make money. Seriously, I want you to make money. I want to make money, and we're all in this to grow and learn together. So with that being said, thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.